Okay, we need to have a chat because today we got our next big update for Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and needless to say, it wasn't big whatsoever. I thought after Season 3 came out, they were kind of pushing in the right direction towards big changes within Warzone, big changes within multiplayer. And because of that, whenever they were going to release an update, a title update like they did today, update 1.18, I was going to make a video discussing all of the patch notes, everything that changes. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. However, the problem is, they didn't really change much big whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is quickly go through the patch notes, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about what this means for Call of Duty moving forward, because there's a lot that I have to say about that. But before we do, let me first tell you about today's update. So today's update was a small one. It was about 1.5 gigabytes, and it did include a full title update to 1.18. However, basically what they changed here was essentially stability and a bunch of bug fixes. So it says this update contains fixes for a number of known crashes, so your game is going to crash less. Also, on top of this, adjustments, improved usability of controller stick rotation and weapon preview, so that's when you're looking at your weapon in the menu, you can now rotate it a little bit better. They also updated it so when you go to inspect a sector, it will now automatically take you to the most valuable reward in the sector. In other words, the biggest reward, how you unlock that fifth one, that's what it's going to show you right away. Not a big thing whatsoever. I don't think anyone was complaining about that, but hey, it's a UI update. We know the game needs that. As far as bug fixes, the first one is fixed an issue causing kill cams not to trigger properly. There was an issue where it would kick you back to the main menu after viewing the battle pass. They fixed an effect with too much gore. CDL weapon stickers not appearing. An issue where you couldn't search or invite players. This has been in the game since launch, so that one's actually a good one. There's an issue with the events tab, in other words, the trophy event, which by the way, I have a video up on. If you want the actual fastest way to earn those trophies, it's on the channel. But the rewards weren't displaying properly. So even if you had enough trophies, you couldn't buy the things. Fixed an issue where the rewards in the level progression screen didn't have descriptions. Another issue where you'd get kicked to the main menu. TAC 56 rewards not displaying properly. And people wouldn't see the rain on Paleo's lighthouse. So really big and important changes to the game that are really going to change up the way that this game plays. Moving on to Warzone 2. This is the big one. This is the one that people have been complaining about. Movement, TTK, all of that, everything that you would expect in a title update is not here. What they did do, however, is improve the buy station interface for players using a controller. It now starts the gear section. I mean, that is nice, but really not the most important thing. And they fixed an issue where rewards for the hold the line mission to not be rewarded to players after completion. Again, not a huge thing, but hey, they fixed it. They fixed an issue where players after the gulag were not getting spawn protection. There is an issue in Battle Royale, this has been for a while, where you'd spawn into the pre-game lobby with your default loadout instead of your favorite loadout. And then an issue where players would crash when attempting to open the AAR. Moving on to DMZ, they added a 1-minute countdown on the DMZ match start before players can use a UAV streak. That is directly having to do with the pay to win thing where you are given a UAV right away. That's hilarious that they've already updated that. It makes it a little less pay to win, but still after a minute, they still have that. And they added a DMZ active duty operator slot, explaining that the last operator cannot be dismissed. So in other words, before you could dismiss all your operators and it would mess some things up. They fixed an issue with the Enforcer raid rewards. The double cross mission, it did not require a specific dead drop location, so they fixed that. There was an issue where if you were using a controller, you couldn't pick up enemy backpacks. I have had that issue. That is good that that is fixed. If anything, that's probably the biggest one that they've actually fixed out of all of these. And then a duplicating weapon glitch was fixed as well. They've also added in a bunch of stuff for the free-to-play weekends and things like that, so you can get into the game free-to-play if you do not own it. They do these like once a month or so, so that has been updated as well. The only other thing that has changed this week is playlist updates for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. So first off with Modern Warfare 2, we have Paleo's Lighthouse 24/7. That one is sticking around. Shipment 24/7 is back. People will be happy about that one. Gunfight is still there. No news yet as to whether or not they're going to be adding tournaments. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping for that one. 10v10 Mosh Pit. Battle of Santa Cena returns. The one that everyone was looking for. 100% everyone plays it all the time. That is the one. I have no idea why this is a playlist, but someone out there likes it. Very strange. Party modes and close quarters. As far as Warzone 2 goes, we have standard, solos, trios, and quads. If you're a duo, this week's not for you. Massive Resurgence, you got trios and quads. If you're a solo or duo, Massive Resurgence isn't for you. And then in regular Resurgence, we have solos, duos, and quads. I don't know why they separate them like this week after week, but hey, there's a reason. So as you can tell, the title of this video was a joke. There'll probably be some people who were mad about this, but looking through these updates, there's a lot of things that are not addressed here. They've been saying for the past little while, and they've even been putting surveys out to people's emails in regards to the movement mechanics within Warzone and time to kill as well. They've said that they have been looking into these things, yet nothing is seemingly changing. So when these patch notes come out and they're like, oh my God, a whole new title update, it's a small one. Maybe they're just making some little changes here and there to things people have been complaining about. And everything that is changing is bug fixes. There needs to be something done here. And what I would recommend on their part is that they say, one, when the next title update is going to be. I get why they don't, because essentially they don't know when it's going to be. Whenever they're done it, that's when it's going to come out. But also what is going to be in there. They have done this in the past little while with things like Season 3. They announced things that were coming in Season 3 all the way back in Season 2, and it gave people a reason to stick around, a reason to level up their guns, expecting change that some of which has not even happened yet. They announced Plunder's still not here. So I get why they don't do that early in case they don't finish it in time, but just going through these patch notes, none of this is actually going to affect the way that you play the game. Not really, at least. It's not like over glaring mistakes that they have made that are now being fixed. When they put out a full title update, that is what people have come to expect. And unfortunately, that is just not what we got here whatsoever. We got bug fixes. So as you can tell, these were huge, important, and dire changes that needed to be made to the game. People have been complaining about time to kill, movement, and various other things since the launch of the game. And title updates are there to make you have a better time with the game. And I guess that's what this update did. Many UI fixes, bug fixes, and less crashes to the game. Things that should be ironed out probably before big updates come out, but hey, I get it. They come out, things break, they need to be fixed. What's disappointing is that they say that they're listening to the community, and they said before the last Season 3 update that they were addressing TTK and other big changes within Warzone. Truth of the matter is, that is not happening in yet another title update. Now, how can this be fixed? I don't blame them if it takes them a while to figure out what these updates are, figure out patches, figure out what can actually fix the time to kill and movement. I understand that that takes time and needs to be addressed and needs to come out properly when it does so. The problem is nothing has been said as to what is being addressed there. The reason for that is because from way back at the beginning when Call of Duty first started to be a big thing, their way of releasing things was big surprises. People would be surprised, they'd hop on the game, more people would play. The problem is, that's not the way Call of Duty is anymore. It is now a live service game, which means that people who are playing it are constantly wanting the game to improve and be updated. Warzone causes that. Warzone is a free-to-play game. It is a live service game. As much as I hate to say that, that is what Call of Duty is at this point. And in order for people to actually stick with the game and want the next update, there needs to be transparency as to what is actually happening and what they're going to be doing moving forward. For them to say, we are watching the time to kill in game means absolutely nothing to no one. They can watch anything in the game. It doesn't mean changes are being made or there's thoughts behind the scene as to what is actually going to be happening. So how do you fix it? Transparency. Say, we are looking at the mid-range time to kill. We are either going to be increasing health, that is our next idea, or decreasing the damage of specific weapons. Say that. Make it outright, make it easy, simple for people to understand. So one, they can know what to expect and know something is actually going on behind the scenes. Hey, that's just my opinion. These patch notes sucked. That's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're